Hi, listeners. Welcome to your daily cup of coffee with Charu, where hopefully, with a hot cup of coffee, we discuss how to tackle the day ahead. And today is Sunday, so we are also going to see briefly how to tackle the week ahead based on the astrological aspects of the day and the week ahead. My name is Charu, and I'm your host on this journey. So let's dig in. Today, the first quarter moon of Cancer makes us very eager to grow and to receive more, especially in our personal life as we stand between the new moon and the full moon. The things that are seeded at the new moon and they're preceded and given more of during the growing phase of the moon, which we are in right now, they grow. We are between a new start and completion of something. With the moon growing, we grow too. Our intentions to receive more grow, and the projects that we have seeded last week, we look to enhance those as well. In Cancer, the personal life is very much in focus. Today, the time to bond, to cook, to eat, to heal, have a bit of peace and quiet before it all begins. Happy Sunday, everyone. Today, we are going to begin another new process, which is Venus entering Aries. Venus is moving into Aries and it will stay there till 14th of April, and it's about to meet Sun in the coming week on 26th of March in superior conjunction. In fact, both of them will be in close proximity towards the end of the month. Venus is representative of what we love, what we value, what we desire, and it is undergoing a shift this week from being a morning star for the past 9 months to transitioning to an evening star where it will become visible only early part of the May. This transition process would be a time to reap rewards, benefits or results of our Venusian efforts over the course of past 9 months, when we might have taken initiatives to shift things in our relationship patterns, taken effort to change something physically in our beauty, in our style, in our love, in finances, in creativity, in the matters related to heart. Venus in Aries is a go getter, but in this season, we would have to learn to actively focus its go getting qualities towards ourselves versus the outer world as it transitions to this process. Love is very spontaneous, often impulsive, direct, bold, and pure in Aries, as are our desires. They are expressed more directly right now. You'll find yourself being very strongly expressive, spontaneous, and more direct in your personal relationships. Eternal romantic Venus in Aries looks for childlike, fervent, exciting, pure love all their life. If any of you have Venus in Aries, you would you would attest to that. We sometimes go from one to another person looking for that pure love all our life when Venus is in Aries. Sometimes we get hurt in the process. Sometimes you get disappointed, but Venus in Aries moves pretty quickly to the next avenue of expression of its passions. Because what is the continuous thread across Venus in Aries is expression of passion. That is core to it. That is more of value to it than staying with one thing. Those passions as an evening star, invisible Venus though, would need to be used on ourselves more than others for its expression, for it to be authentic and of value to us. Feeling of self worth and self esteem are crucial to loving others and seeing them clearly. That is one key lesson of Venus in Aries. With Chiron conjunct Venus in Aries next week and Libra full moon, which is coming up, Libra full moon will be opposing this Venus in Aries, and Chiron will be sitting together trying to heal Venus in Aries as well. Our love language will undergo dramatic amount of change, as would our creative expression with this. We find our instinctual Venus confronting our social Venus. The gap between this instinctual Venus, as I call it, the Venus that we were born with, the instincts of love, desire, and hope, as well as the parameter of by which we sift things of what is of value, what is not of that value, that will be confronting a social Venus that we have developed over years. And the gap between the two are created right from the time of birth in our developmental years. In fact, Venus is one of the rare planets that gets activated right at birth. Not even sun is fully activated at birth, but Venus is. It's our urge to cherish, it's our urge to love, merge, value, create, style. It's a filter essentially. It's a satellite of the sun. It helps us filter and sift what's pleasing to our senses and what we desire and value. But that filter gets polluted over time in early age itself, creating this gap between social Venus and instinctual Venus. Separation of the two actually starts happening when, in our developmental years, we go against our core instincts and behave in a way which is known to be false to ourselves, to our internal radar, yet we are applauded by others for it. That's where the value system separates. Our instinctual value system and the social value system starts separating from that point. Venus tells us what's right, what's wrong, and it's the lens with which we view society and its values. Being colored early on about our values and what society values starts diminishing our instinct, our own internal radar, our sifter of values, our arbiter of taste is essentially tainted by what's expected of us from the get go. Venus in Aries doesn't like to be tainted. Not only is it the child state of love, it's one of the five signs which in our lifetime are going to be repeatedly undergoing Venus retrograde, creating a slow regressive view of what zodiac for many, many years, what that zodiac loves and desire. There are five zodiac signs because of the cycle of Venus in which the Venus will be going retrograde throughout our lifetime. You'll be very inquisitive to know which ones those are, so I'm going to spell it out here. It is Venus in Aries, Gemini, Leo, Scorpio, and Capricorn. These are the five signs because of the cycle of Venus, because Venus goes retrograde in the same sign 8 years in a row. So every 8 years, Venus goes retrograde in the same sign 2 or 3 degrees earlier each time. So last time Venus was retrograde in Aries was back in 2017. March of 2017 is exactly when Venus was retrograde in Aries. Right now, Venus is not going retrograde in Aries. It's just entering the same very location where it is going to transit the location where Venus went retrograde in March of 27. So some patterns that you might have gone back and forth on in 2017, March of 2017, they might come for reconsideration or for you to move forward on. This is where we are reaping rewards. This is the full Venus phase. So we are moving forward from the old patterns. We are finishing old patterns and moving forward from it. It is the time to reap rewards of those reconsiderations that you might have done. There might be some decisions you might have taken in March and April of 2017 about your creativity, about your love life, about your finances, which now you see the full value on. Hindsight is 2020. So sitting in right now, you reap the rewards of what has happened or what maybe chances you took at that time. And you'll see the full value in them. Venus in Aries, as I said, doesn't like to be tainted. It likes that child state of love. So whatever has taken you away from that, this will be the season when we retain it back to some extent, purifying those acquired societal patterns which have diminished our instinctual Venus are very much the theme each time Aries Venus retrograde happens, and each time Sun and Venus are together in Aries. Last time we had Venus retrograde, as I said, was in March of 2017. So you might go back to that time and see what had happened. Venus is being shown light of Sun, our intellect right now, bringing that gap to light yet again. But with the upcoming Chiron conjunction, we have more than enough chances to find healing to that gap. Chiron in Aries heals without any cribs without any valor. It doesn't wallow in pain, essentially. If you know any of the Chiron in Aries individual, the way they heal is very different from Chiron in other sign. Chiron in Aries quickly dusts off and gets up and starts going. They are the war babies. Chiron in Aries generation is the war babies. They're the child of Great Depression. They're the child of many wars. But sometimes they heal too quickly without enough introspection because they want to dust it off and move forward. That's why this repeated back and forth is happening of Chiron on those initial degree of Aries, and it's bringing back those hurt not addressed, those health issues not addressed, and we try to find root cause and cure for that. And with this Chiron coming back in conjunction with Venus next week, we'll find some cures, we'll find some healing, we'll find those gaps which have created some of those diseases, those Venus gaps which have created those diseases because of us compromising our own Venus, our instinctual Venus. And Chiron diseases usually are linked to us not accepting our own uniqueness and giving our individuality air. So this Aries Venus season, we learn to get in touch with our own brand of feminine values, our inner Venus, which is crying out for expression to be herself as a person rather than be a standard of measure of external accomplishments. Sometimes we hold back our self-love due to it not being reciprocated by outside. We hold back our creativity for lack of external appreciation, external clicks and likes. We hold back our taste as it's too standoffish to the society or pariah to the societies. We hold back our way of making money or dealing with finances because we won't make what others think we should be making. This Aries Venus, we learn to respond to our instinctual nature. It was given to us for a purpose. Like everything at birth we were given, it was given to serve us, to protect us, and use the Venus this season all the way till 14th of April when it is in Aries, to use it for your own healing, for your own progress, for your own beauty, for your own creativity, for doing things in the way and bringing that radar back, essentially. We'll have another one key aspect happening. I have spoken about it in the mid-March videos. If you have not watched for your sign, I would request you to do that because it's a very volatile aspect that is happening, and it is a very strong aspect as well. We'll see the world events getting impacted by that, and that is Mars is going out of bounds and it is meeting Rahu on 26th of March at 13 degree of Gemini. This will be a very volatile aspect and we'll see that play out in the world. I have mentioned this again and again. The last time this happened in Gemini around these degrees, it was 2002 when we had the axis of evil speech which was spelled out. There are words which will be flying about. Words have power and forces, and we have Mercury and Neptune together, so there'll be confusing words. They will not be taken in the spirit in which they are spoken. So it can be very impulsive, it can be very reckless. We can go a little bit out of our boundaries here. But the positive side of Mars and Rahu is its great strength, its fearless strength. It gives us the energy to act on projects that are going to pave our life destiny path. They will shift our direction. And Rahu or North Node is a destiny path. So Mars allows us to walk our destiny with boldness, without any fear. It will be impulsive in the sense of leaving behind if we have been sort of holding ourselves back in a pattern that was not serving us. The intellect that we have and the thought process that we have and the words we say to ourselves will have a lot of impact in us moving forward, and your words will have a lot of power and force. Use this immense energy and your words very wisely in the coming next 10 days. We will hear a lot of news coming out. This is the aspect which world's most famous whistleblower Edward Snowden had. So you'll hear it in the news. You'll hear a lot of things coming out in the open as a result of that, and words will not be taken in the right context over here. There'll be confusion a little bit because we'll have Mercury and Venus together and it would just not be clear. So good luck for that. and have a great week ahead. Have a great day ahead. I'll see you in the next video now. Thank you.